in the character of its original founder, Vernon G. Wright Jr. In 1986, Vernon Wright, who was the longest-serving Speaker of the House in Ohio, introduced the bill to create Shawnee State University. Founders Day was first recognized by the Board of Trustees in policy on this day, October 14th, in 1994. And you may guess who the first award recipient was. It was Vernon Wright, received that in 1994. 25 years later, in September of 2019, we revived Founders Day and awarded 2 medals on September 27th of that year. One was to Dr. David Todd, who's in the audience right here. He was instrumental in the academic development of Shawnee State and served the institution for 30-some years. How's that? Pretty close. It was a long time. Our other award winner was Dr. George White, who chaired the Board of Trustees both as the last chairman of Shawnee State Community College and the first chairman of Shawnee State University. He was also the one who made the motion to establish the university. So we currently have 3 awardees. We have Dr. Todd, Dr. White, and Speaker Wright. And for year 2022, I can't think of 2 more deserving recipients of the Founders Medal than Dr. Jim Kadel and Mr. Jim Kricker. We have several faculty and staff members who are also been honored today for their service to Shawnee State University. Together they continue to advance our institution, and I thank them all for being part of Shawnee State's story. But before we get to the honorees, I want to take just a few minutes to share some highlights of where we've been, where we are today, and where we're going as an institution. You may have seen as you came in here, we had some pictures. Some of those pictures are vintage Shawnee State from back when and back now. But I'd like to at least go over some of the good things that are happening at this institution. If I'm going to put it in just a few words, we are back. And you might ask, well, where did you go? Well, we had something little that happened to us over the last few years, and it kind of derailed us a bit. Not completely, though. We are back at this point in time, and I'm thrilled to announce that. Our students are back. Enrollment is the highest it's been in 3 years. This fall, we increased our freshman class by 18%. We increased the number of College Credit Plus students here by 31%. We increased the number of transfer students, the number of international students, the number of student athletes who are now on campus. We have some pretty aggressive enrollment goals moving forward, and we're not there yet. But I think we can all agree that we are heading in the right direction at this point. We're also back serving our community. Shawnee State was created to make college possible for students in our region, and we're doing that. In fact, 81% of our new students are from right here in Ohio. More than 60% of those students are from here in southern Ohio. We're serving at Appalachia, Ohio, as a critical part of our mission, and we've been doing so since 1986. We're back also delivering nationally ranked academic programs. We're ranked number 9 in the nation in game design. We now offer one of the only 4 ABET accredited engineering technology programs, I think, in the world. Our Master's in Mathematics program has been ranked the top online program. So far, our healthcare administration also is highly ranked. Our Master's in Occupational Therapy was listed among the best graduate programs in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. They also ranked Shawnee State among the best public colleges in the Midwest and best regional universities in the Midwest. These types of rankings are directly tied with the academic quality that the institution has. And we plan to continue to expand those offerings in academics to prepare students for the jobs of today and tomorrow. This year, we announced the C.H. Liu School of Business and are in the process of developing an MBA program. That should be available in the fall of 2023. We recently launched a new degree program in criminal justice, cybersecurity, environmental geology, and rhetoric composition. We are developing certificate programs that help meet the needs of our workforce. And we are collaborating with institutions throughout Ohio to provide Southern Ohio a pipeline to in-demand careers with Intel and other semiconductor and advanced manufacturing industries. We're back. We're back making college possible for students. Accessibility goes far beyond our location here in Southern Ohio. We provide open access to all students. We offer one of the lowest tuition rates in the state and offer all students a tuition guarantee. We've been awarded Choose Ohio First grants that allow us to offer expanded scholarships to students in STEM fields. And this year we began offering free tuition to Pell-eligible incoming freshmen from our immediate region, and that's big. We've had just about a part of a year to do that. We're really expecting some great results as we move forward with that program this year. We're back graduating students too. This past year, we had 650 graduates from Shawnee State University. A higher percentage of our students are successfully completing their college education, and they are doing it in a shorter period of time. We now have more than 19,000 members of the SSU Alumni Association. These graduates are using their Shawnee State career or their degrees to change their lives. And I did tell you a little bit about some of the rankings with U.S. News and World Report. I think there's one that I personally, and I think all of us, should be most proud of. Shawnee State is also ranked among the top institutions in social mobility. That's an indication how our graduates are able to significantly increase their family incomes with their Shawnee State degrees. We are back planning for the future too. We're planning our future and that of our community. We're working in partnership with the City of Portsmouth, Scioto County, and the state, creating a strategic plan that addresses academic degrees needed to support key industries in the healthcare area, in business, in manufacturing, as well as expanding tech fields. We're looking at facility needs on both the university and the city to transform our region and support job growth and economic development. We're expanding downtown, as most of you know. You saw the paint going up on the Kricker Innovation Hub. It's pretty. But we're creating an innovation district with our Kricker Innovation Hub as its anchor. In case you haven't heard the recent news, Shawnee State was selected for a Build to Scale grant from the U.S. Economic Development Administration. This is a highly competitive grant and will provide us with $1.4 million to support scalable entrepreneurship and tech job creation through the Kricker Innovation Hub. We're back advancing Shawnee State, the university, and the region. That's what our founders wanted us to do. 36 years later, we applaud the vision of our early leaders and continue the work that they began. And that is why we're here today, to recognize all the university's founders and contributors, but especially two of them who will receive the Vern Wright Jr. Founders Medal. At this point, I'd like to ask Vice President Eric Braun to present our first medal.
Thank you, Dr. Bauer. And hey, everybody. Appreciate everyone coming today to Founders Day. I want to say especially thanks to Dr. Todd. Good to see you here. President Chapman, back in the back row, and Ann, great to see you. And of course, we have Mr. Kricker and Dr. Kadel, our honorees today. Great to see you here. Thanks for coming. And it's great to have a tradition like this on campus and be part of Founders Day. We were just meeting with some builders this morning. And thanks, by the way, to our deans and some faculty members for being part of that on a busy day. As Chris and I were just wrapping up with this donor, they said you clearly have a campus that is sincerely interested in what they do and committed to the mission of students. And I think we all would agree. Everybody's here for a different reason, but at the end of the day, mission is what is guiding us at Shawnee State. So again, appreciate everybody being part of Founders Day and another great tradition on campus. It gives me great pleasure to present the Founders Medal to Mr. Jim Kricker, and I appreciate the opportunity to make the presentation. Jim and I go way back. We did some ushering in a church together, as did my son with Jim, and we know each other through the years. And Jim's been a business and community leader through the decades, a staunch promoter of higher education, has advocated for Shawnee State University's advancement, and has a sterling record as one of the university's most loyal and most generous donors. So let's take a moment to talk about Jim. Most every student enrolled at Shawnee State at some point sees KRI on their course schedule. That refers to Kricker Hall. Kricker Hall now houses beautifully renovated classrooms and labs for physical therapy, occupational therapy, exercise science. For a long time, it was the home of the Department of Business, the university's largest major. And the Kricker name is synonymous with business in Southern Ohio. I don't know, is Dr. Fite here? Well, I'm going to borrow heavily from Dr. Fite and his work at the Public History Center at Shawnee State. But Dr. Fite on his historical app quotes a 1978 Portsmouth Daily Times article that says, "The Kricker family's long-term faith in the economic strength of Scioto County is a matter of historical record." And Fite goes on to detail a tremendous amount of information about the Kricker family dating way back through the decades. Matthias Kricker came to the city in 1840 and developed the northwest corner of Chillicothe and Gallia Streets. We know that as the Esplanade, or the Esplanade, I guess if you're from out of town. Now the Fifth Third Bank building. There's a community store there. George Kricker became president of Central National Bank, and later Security Central National Bank during the Great Depression. The Security Central Bank building is still standing and now serves as the Southern Ohio Museum and Cultural Center. Edmund J. Kricker served as chairman and CEO of the First Federal Savings and Loan Association and founded the Kricker Insurance Company. Jim started his career with First Federal Savings Bank and worked through the years in many posts in investment banking and insurance. The Portsmouth City block that runs from the Esplanade and Chillicothe Street along 6th Street on the north side of Gallia Street will, quote, forever be associated with the Kricker family. And that's a quote from a story and article that was done again by Dr. Fite. As well as Kricker Hall on our campus. We all know it well. And as well as Jim's position as a foundational business and community leader. They'll all be associated with Jim and with the Kricker family at Shawnee State. Jim's a member and past president of the Portsmouth Kiwanis Club. He is a trustee emeritus of Portsmouth Murals, Inc., member of Holy Redeemer Church, and a benefactor of Notre Dame Schools. At Shawnee State, get ready for this list, Jim supports the Bear Club, our unrestricted annual fund, Make Tomorrow Stars, the fund for SSU Musical Theater, the Jim and Rita Morris Completion Scholarship, the Shawnee Fund, Reach for the Stars, the Vern Rice Center Fund, that's the Arts Endowment Fund. Jim has served multiple terms as a Development Foundation board member at Shawnee State, and was chair of the Poise for Tomorrow campaign. Did a lot of hard work to bring in a lot of dollars, not just your own, but many others through the community and through the state, and that was our most successful fundraising campaign in Shawnee State University history. Jim has personally pledged substantial support to advance programs and enhance facilities on campus, and continues to make significant contributions through leadership, sponsorship of university programs, projects, and activities. His latest effort is no exception. If you've been on campus for the last couple of years, how many times have you heard Kricker Innovation Hub? Maybe so many times that it started to irritate you. We were hoping to open the doors months and months ago, construction delays with COVID and all, but we're painfully close to opening the doors on this landmark facility, and we're very excited about it. It's going to be a true nexus of university and community. I just want to share quickly, when I met with Jim a handful of years ago, he explained how important Portsmouth is to his family. He would like to support something that represents both the Kricker family's proud tradition of success in business, and Jim's own personal commitment to the university and the university's future. Both critical elements of the future of our city in Jim's eyes, and I happen to agree very much with him, as should most of you do as well. I was so pleased to share with Jim the concept for an innovation hub, a place where business ideas are formed, where entrepreneurs can develop their operations, and we're going to locate this facility on 3rd and Chillicothe Streets, literally the physical intersection of the university and the downtown. And Jim was in. Jim said, "I trust you, I love the idea," and that meant a whole lot to me, the president, and the folks interested in this project. In the subsequent 5 years, the Kricker Innovation Hub has attracted significant additional investment from the private sector, from the feds, the U.S. Department of Commerce, the Appalachian Regional Commission, and the state of Ohio, all to catalyze the next generation of the Portsmouth economy. From the Center on Rural Innovation, they recently named Portsmouth, Ohio as one of the top rural areas ripe for technology entrepreneurship. And it was because of the Kricker Innovation Hub project, because of the academic programs that support technology and entrepreneurship. A quote I have from those folks, and actually I'm going to go back to True Fight one more time. The handsome old building that once housed a clothing factory has been reborn as the Kricker Innovation Hub, a forge for scalable startup activity. The local college, Shawnee State University, is home to one of Princeton Review's top 10 video game design programs in the country, positioning its students on the cutting edge of digital creativity and production. This is what other folks are saying about us, by the way. This is the Center on Rural Innovation. Nearly 100 years on from Portsmouth's time as an NFL city, an industrial hub, it is now home to an entirely new type of competitor, esports athletes who are flourishing as part of the area's gaming culture. Folks are taking note and notice of campus in this project and a rebirth for our downtown. Jim's investments have made possible this intersection of the university and the city, of business and technology, and of past, present, and future. Jim, you and the Kricker family have made lasting contributions not only to Shawnee State, but to our entire community. You're a business and community leader. You've always been a gentleman. You've made contributions that are almost countless, but most of all, you're a friend. And we're grateful for everything you have done and everything that you now do. So I'm going to invite up, actually, Jim and Dr. Bauer. I'll let you present the medal. But on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Shawnee State University, come on up, Jim. We'll give you the president. So the gentleman with the Mr. Jim Kricker.
Thank you all very much for this recognition. I had pleasure every moment that added to the accomplishment of this recognition. Shawnee State University, in my opinion, of course, has been one of the greatest things that's happened to Portsmouth. And I don't have to explain to you what I mean by greatest things. We're educating people, and that's great. Thank you very much. Shawnee State.
Now for our second awardee of the day. I did catch Dr. Todd mentioning to Dr. Kadel he would probably rather be watching the Cleveland Guardians, who are now probably in the first inning of their game with the New York Yankees. 0-0. All right, 0-0. Let me mention up front that Dr. Kadel and I have had a special relationship through the many years we've both been here at Shawnee State University. And one of those connections has been our love for Cleveland professional sports, whether it's the Guardians or the Browns or the Cavaliers. And then throw in some Ohio State Buckeye football. It's not uncommon for me to get an email on Friday evening or Saturday afternoon from Dr. Kadel saying something that he wants to complain about the way the team is playing, or something good in many cases. But it's always been very special, and it's been a great friendship. Dr. Jim Kadel is truly a Shawnee State founder. His contributions predate our existence as a four-year institution. He has served this institution for over 40 years. During our community college days, Dr. Kadel served as co-chair of the institution's feasibility study to determine the need for a four-year college in Portsmouth, Ohio. We're all grateful for that committee's findings. Jim also served on the planning committee for academic and cost analysis, the original curriculum development committee for baccalaureate degree programs, and chaired the finance committee for transition to four-year college. Jim also served as a representative to present the university's first baccalaureate degree proposals to the Ohio Board of Regents. Dr. Kadel served as an administrative member on the university's collective bargaining team to negotiate the workloads and compensation of faculty. I seem to recall a few times there that we had discussions. He also continues to serve the institution today as our resident dentist overseeing the dental hygiene clinic. On behalf of the 19,000 alumni who now hold Shawnee State University degrees, we thank Dr. Kadel for laying the foundation for our academic programs 36 years ago, and for everything he continues to do for the university. And it's great to see some of our health science faculty and health science administration here today. They can tell you more than anyone here that Dr. Kadel has not only contributed to this institution in the past, but he continues to contribute today, and we expect into the future. Please join me in honoring Dr. Jim Kadel with the Vern Wright Jr. Founders Medal.
Thank you, President Jeff. I'm really not a founder. The real founder was Speaker Vern Wright, Ohio House of Representatives. Governor Jim Rose was his prime partner. And basically our original board of trustees from the community college and the university. Those were the founders. Dave and I were sort of founders helpers, I think, weren't we, Dave? We sort of helped continue things. It was sort of tough at first because we searched the literature, and very, very few people, very, very few institutions had gone from community college to university overnight. So we didn't have much guidance to go at all. We had to make it up on the fly. I think we did pretty good. Basically, we had the involvement of everybody. We had the faculty and administrators and the hourly people and the students. I'm glad we included the students. They had some valuable input. And we included community members. And we did the very best we could. And we argued. Basically, we made some mistakes. And we argued. Some of us, me included, maybe, but some of us thought that we should go along the path and continue our strong vocational programs, because we were outstanding in some of our vocational programs, and we hated to see those go away. But we sort of made a mistake, and we tried to piggyback one vocational program, one associate degree on another. That didn't work out real well, but our colleagues from the arts and sciences helped us out and said, no, you can't just piggyback two associate degrees together. You need some foundation, you need some growth in the arts and sciences. You need psych, Shakespeare speech, things like that to make us a true university. So even though we argued a little bit, I think we came to a very, very good compromise. In those early years, we gave some quality programs. It took us a while to be appreciated because we were also known as Flood Wall Tech in the old days. Not the very first place you wanted to send your son or daughter, or first place you wanted to enroll. But we grew over that, and no one says that anymore. We take our place with the other Ohio universities, and we deserve that place. So again, I really appreciate this honor, but I just want you to know that your true founders, the speaker and the governor and our first board, are the true founders, and the rest of us are just founders helpers. And I pledge myself to continue to be a helper, and I know everybody here at the university does, because we're a growth, we have to grow. And we're going to continue to grow and serve the students whatever they need in this area. If they need a doctor's degree in pharmacy, we'll look at that. If they need some associate degree training in auto body mechanics, we'll look at that too. I'm not embarrassed to say that we're going to meet the needs of whatever they need, whatever that is. And thank you very much, President Jeff, for even the nomination and taking it to the board. And like I said, we're just starting. Come back in 20 years, you'll see that we've even gone a lot further. Thank you.
Now, first of all, once again, I want to thank both of you so much for the institution, for what you contributed to the institution. And I did want to mention also all of you out there right now for the work that you do for us. President Chapman, thank you for coming today. President Chapman was president number 4, by the way, in case you're keeping count. All the rest, everybody here today, thank you for being here. Now I'd like to recognize service of our faculty and staff. Whether in the classroom, maintaining the campus, or supporting our students and institution in countless ways, we want to thank all of you too. We have this little thing that we do yearly. We recognize people for various milestones, yearly milestones that they get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And I'd just like to take a moment to run through a list. Some of you are here, and when I call your name, please stand up so that we can see you and recognize you for your years of service with the institution. For those who have completed 5 years of service for Shawnee State University, I have the following names: Anne Marie Allen, Kara Arms, I saw Kara, stand up, Kara. David Cornwell, Alicia Fink, Robert Gregory, Harmony Keller, Dr. Karen Kaler, Michael McPhillips, Misty Moore, Amy Queen, Wayne Richburg, Victor Aguilar Sells, Daniel Smith, Stephanie Thomas, and Douglas Wisman. Those are the folks that have completed 5 years of service for the institution. Those who have completed 10 years of service: Curtis Combs, Dr. Linda Hunt, Dr. Sarah Ivers, Beth Lansky, Pamela Opworth, Jonathan Peters. Jonathan, back there in the back. Thank you. Bradley Peters, Heather Wall. And now those with 15 years of service: Charles Davis, Sandy Gidway, Dr. Jennifer Hawley. Jennifer, there you are. Thank you, Jennifer. Paula Radcliffe, and Casey Thornsberry. 15 years, Casey.
Believe it.
Seems like it was just yesterday.
I know.
Now for 20 years. Dr. Adair Latimer Carroll. Joe Van Duzen. Jeff Hamilton. Thank you, Jeff. And Tiffany Parker. Those with 25 years of service. Dr. Barbara Kahn. Bill Rockwell. Carlos Royster. And Mark Yarnell. Hey, Mark. Thank you very much. Mark and I have conversations from time to time in the basement. We're good, aren't we? And by the way, just a mention about Mark. He's invisible. And we want to keep him invisible. Because if he becomes visible, that means we have an IT problem that is going to be extraordinary. So thank you, Nora. Those with 30 years, Dr. Paul Madden. And Dr. Christopher O'Connor. Regardless of what your position or responsibilities are at Shawnee, past or present, I want to thank all of you for your service. And I want you to feel the same pride that I feel for the work for your work on behalf of this institution and our mission. We've come through a number of crises over the last 36 years, and in each case, we have prevailed and gotten stronger and better. This is the Shawnee legacy. And it's also the reason that we should all be proud of our accomplishments and deeply optimistic about the future of this institution. Thank you for all for being here today and everything you do every day to advance Shawnee State University. And that concludes today's ceremony. Thank you. We don't want to see you go away without something, so we have some food available, and we hope you'll stick around and have a little bit of social time so we can talk a little bit and talk about not just the past but the future.